We want you to think about what if you were the one sleeping in the streets,
begging for food and never having a decent meal,
with no clean water and access to medicine. There are millions of children who live on the streets in cities across the world who don't go to school like you and me. Now, have you heard of a life chain? A life chain is one of the things that allows a good life.
There is one key that you need to have to get a great life chain, and that is education.
Only 61% of the children in Mumbai go to school and stay until 5th grade. Believe me, the ones who don't get to go to school won't get the job of their dreams.
Sadly, these people won't have enough money to buy food and water for their family to thrive.
The thing is that if they do find a job, it's most likely a labor job. You can get fired any day. If you're unlucky, you'll never find another. Even experts think that education will lead you to a better life and more respect in the future.
And most parents are still waiting for the day where their child will go to school so they can get a great job.
We had a field trip to Mumbai mobile creches to see what they did to help their children. To help children, they gave the children playtime, food, and most importantly, safety. With these things, the children could learn as their basic needs are met.
The kids learned about good nutrition, hygiene, and how to take care of themselves. They also learned about cooperation. They learned how to work together and how to solve a problem.
The problem is so big, you might ask, is it too big to make a difference?
But if we can help just one child a day, then the problem becomes smaller every day.
Parents really do want their children to go to school, but they also think that if they go to beg or work, it will get the family more money.
Worst of all is that when people want more money, they sometimes even abuse their own children. Luckily, this is uncommon. NGOs can give them these needs.
We all have the right to education, and we do know that we do. But do they know? Do they know how important it is to go to school? Well, I'm not sure. But one thing's for sure, more girls need to be educated. Why? It's as simple as this. Scientists have discovered that if more girls get educated, then they would be able to tell their children how important it is and comfort them and tell them to go to school like you and me. Now, I'm not saying that's not important for boys to go to school, because it is. They can also tell their children that how more fun a job can be if it's the one of your choice that you always wanted to do. Now, some children then do go to school and do the almost most important thing in life. But it's not always so easy in a governmental school, as there's sometimes up to 70 children per class. And believe me, you don't want to sit in the back row where nobody can see you, hear you, and they won't even probably know that you're there. The problem is that only 61% of the children in Mumbai go to school till 5th grade, and only 6 of them can then read a short story or do simple arithmetics. After we found out that information, to know even more, we had an interview with Ms. Bora Purvi, who works in an NGO herself.
Her NGO, Akanksha, just like Udan, which is another NGO, works with governmental schools and helps kids get a better education.
As you hear, in governmental schools, there are sometimes 70 children per class. Some things that we faced along the way were that we hadn't done a group log when we were actually supposed to.
We had time issues and we didn't get to do everything we would have wanted to do.
There were some times that we all had our own ideas and we could have worked much better together. At the end, it worked out much better with organization and practicing.
Some kids are kidnapped at a young age and then forced to work. Many children in Mumbai suffer this.
Thankfully, not everyone goes through this fate, because believe me, it's much, much harder than it seems, for the parent and of course for the child. Did you know that there actually is a law that says every child under 18 years cannot work, and every child has the right to education from the age of 6 to 14.
Sadly, the law is not working out too well because children in poverty are forced to go to work so they can make money for their families.
We also notice that some parents need their children to babysit their other siblings so that they have more time to get money, and so that they don't need that much time, even though the law says not to do so.
The law was only made 1.5 years ago, which is not a long time, and people already cross it.
For Action Week, we interviewed Mrs. Porvey about the NGO that she worked with, Akanksha. It works with governmental schools and helps kids get a better education. We made a post on ask people to donate books for NGOs around Mumbai. It turned out very well. We got more than 100 books. You need to respect these children that come to your window and beg for food. They don't get an education like you or your children. They're not as lucky as you. Have empathy and help these children. You can do this by donating a book or giving some money. You can also volunteer some of your time or read to them because they might not know how. We all have a right for education. There are many benefits. You can get a better job, a better position, more money, and a field you like. There are more choices of jobs if you get an education. If you're not educated, you won't get a job easily.
We need to help those children, because they do need help. They have souls and feelings too. I can't really tell you how they feel, but I can tell you that they really, really, really do need help. They go to work instead. They beg instead, and sometimes they even get abused. These are stuff that we never dreamt and will never dream of. You know why they don't go to school? They don't go to school because we don't help. But I know that if they were one of your family members, then you would have helped them. But just because they're different or aren't related to you, it doesn't mean we shouldn't give them a hand.
My and Eden's passion is dancing, so we will now show a short dance to the song We Are the World.
My passion is reading, so I made bookmarks, which represent the key to a better life will always be education.
And remember that the key to a better life change would always be education.